Welcome back to the channel, guys. Merry Christmas. Just a few days away. And I'm here to react to a favorite song of mine. This song I happen to know a little bit about. That much. Not enough. There's not enough trivia to make it trivia, so I will just tell you what I know. Which is funny because you would think that I could find enough trivia to fill up a video, but... And actually, this song, I don't have to actually look anything up to give you my trivia. This is I Will Survive, but it's Postmodern Jukebox doing it in a vintage 40s jazz / Latin ballroom style cover with Sarah Niemitz. And we've seen Sarah on one or two other videos, I think, so far. I like her. It's hard to not like anyone in Postmodern Jukebox, although I do have one I don't like, which I'm not going to comment on. And it's not because they're horrible or bad. I just have a hard time getting used to them, so I skip over them. And I apologize, because I don't mean to be that kind of person, but yeah. Anyways, back to I Will Survive. So, I Will Survive. It holds the record for being the first and last song to ever receive a Grammy for Best Disco Recording. Yes, the Grammy Institute finally created a category for disco, and then disco died. Yeah. That's the way it rolls sometimes. But yes, this song has also been done by several others down the road. But Gloria Gaynor's version is my favorite. I haven't heard Postmodern Jukebox's version yet, but I love Gloria Gaynor's version. So, with that being said, before we start, you know what to do. Hit me up with that YouTube Trinity if you would. Like, subscribe, comment, and hey, we'll get going, shall we? I Will Survive, 1940s jazz, Latin ballroom. Alright, guys, show us what you got.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. And I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong.
I'm going to stop it here for a second because I know that they're going to do it in the 1940s version, but as I'm listening to it, my mind is showing me videos of the 40s and 50s movies. And, you know, I know it's going to change in just a heartbeat. But the very beginning of the song, you could throw it into any of those decades. You could. Not in just a minute here, but the beginning of it, you absolutely could. I could absolutely see any of the major singers of the 40s. Excuse me. Any of the major singers of the 40s doing this version of the song. To a point. I could. Absolutely could. Let me rewind it a little bit. Well, maybe all the way back.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. And I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong. And I learned how to get along. And now you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave the key. If I'd have known for just 1 second, you'd be back to bother me. Go on now, go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to hurt me with goodbye? You think I'd crumble? You think I'd lay down and die? No, I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive.
I'm also stopping it here because I love this song, but sometimes, you know how sometimes you can hear a song after you've not heard it for a while and forgot parts of what it means. So here I was just a few minutes ago saying that I could see any of the 40s or 50s singers singing this at the beginning. And it's true, I could. But then as I am watching it, I am thinking, no, they could not be singing this song. Because I'm talking about a single woman who is living with a single man who is not so single, who has his own key to her place, which was not a subject to ever come across as something actually happening in the 40s and 50s and 60s. So, even though it happened, even though it did, but you know, they could never have movies about it or TV shows. Well, there weren't many TV shows then. Radio shows about it then. Yeah. So. But Gloria Gaynor, she can do her thing. Kick that boy to the curb.
You think I'd crumble? You think I'd lay down and die? I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive. I got all my life to live. I got all my love to give, and I will survive. I will survive. I had not to fall apart. I'm trying to mend the pieces of my broken heart. And I spent so many nights just thinking how you did me wrong. I used to cry, but now I hold my head up high and you see me. Somebody new. I'm not the chained up little person still in love with you. And now you felt like dropping in and just expect me to be free. Now I'm saving all my loving for someone who's loving me. Go on now, go. Walk out the door. Turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to break me with goodbye? Think I'd crumble? You think I'd lay down and die? No, I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive. I got all my life to live. I got all my love to give, and I will survive. I will survive. Oh.
All right. All right. All right. Um, did you see her have to walk around? She kind of looked a little scared walking around, the two dancers. She knew what she was doing, though. They weren't going to kick her in the head. Uh, so, before I finish this, I'm going to tell you a long story. If you don't want to stick around, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, comment, pass it along. Thank you very much for watching me. And don't let me know in the comments below if you would like to see your comments posted as a suggestion when I go and follow one of your suggestions and do a video. But I will be telling a short-ish story here in a moment. But if you don't want to stick around, you guys, thank you very much for joining us. Now, if you do want to hear the story, one of the things that I love about this song is it's sort of a theme for my life. I was married once. I know, shocker, right? No, I was. I got married for a completely wrong reason for most people to get married for. But it's what I got married for and why I chose to do so. That's a whole different story. But the guy that I married, he was a very, 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 very good friend of mine who did love me, I thought. And he was a very nice guy. He was a kind guy. He was always doing stuff for me without me thinking about it, and I thought he was really great. Did not know that he thought he could date while he was married. And I was having a party, and I had my mother and my sister over, and my niece over, and some friends over in the apartment complex. And my apartment's balcony, you could see straight to the swimming pool. And he invited a friend to come over. And from my balcony, you could see the two of them skinny dipping in the community pool. To which one of my friends was very offended by. I was too, but I have priorities, and I was not going to draw huge attention to this. I was going to finish the party, and then I was going to deal with it. But my friend, Neil, she had other plans. And she pretty much told my husband's girlfriend at the time to not let the door hit her where the good Lord split her. Apparently, that was crossing the line. So my husband, whose name will go unmentioned, escorted his guest down to her car. And everyone was very uncomfortable in the apartment. Completely agree. So I turned to Neil, and Neil lived in an apartment like 3 more doors down from mine. So I said, Neil, why don't you take the party to your place, and I'll be over there shortly. Because I was going to face whatever was about to happen. And I didn't need witnesses. So she's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. So she's like, they took all the food and all the wine, and everybody went down there. And my mother went too, of course, because, my mother, by the way, is a piece of work, and I will point that out in just a minute. So my husband came back to the apartment without his girlfriend because she had left and proceeded to try to tell me to get the hell out. He was kicking me out of the apartment. So I was like, okay, let me make a phone call first. So I did what most people do. I called my mother for advice. To which I said to her when she answered the phone, I said, Mom, he's kicking me out. And she responded with, I'm not getting in the middle of this. That's the kind of mother I have. I was like, okay, I'm just letting you know. Hung up the phone. He says, you know what? Forget it. I'm leaving. I'm taking my tools. I'm taking my stereo. And something else. And I'm leaving. My clothes. And I'm leaving. And I said, okay. He goes, no, you don't understand. I'm leaving. I'm taking my tools, my clothes, my stereo, and I'm leaving. I said, okay. But before you do, I need you to open the safe and get my jewelry out. We had a small safe and it was just stuck in the closet. And he says, I'm not going to steal your jewelry. I said, I'm not saying you're going to steal my jewelry. You're the only one with the combination. I would like to have my jewelry. So he huffed and he puffed and he went into the closet and he opens up the safe and he just starts throwing my jewelry at me, box after box. And I just have my purse there. I'm picking one up off the floor and putting it in my purse. And I said, okay, so the party's over at Neil's. So when you leave, please be sure to lock the door behind you. Of course I will. Of course I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't leave the door unlocked. I said, I'm just saying, lock the door when you leave. Of course I will. So then I left. And actually, yes, that is how I reacted to it. Exactly that. I did not raise a stink. When there's a crisis, I go into this mode where it's just very smooth. I can see everything that needs to be done and I don't need to have my heart pounding or nothing. So I did not go to Neil's house. Not yet. Got in my car. Went to the ATM. It was 11:30 at night. It was Friday night. So I went to the ATM. The ATM let me withdraw $350 before it locked me out. I went down the street to another ATM and it let me take another $50 out. And then I drove to Neil's place. I walked in. At that point, the adrenaline starts to give me shaky hands. And I was very centered. And Neil sees me and she opens the door. She goes, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You know, and I asked if my mother was there. No, she left. I was like, okay. And Neil and my friends are like, what's going on? I was like, well, he kicked me out. Or he tried to kick me out, but now he's leaving. Oh my God, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Well, what else? I said, I just need to sit here for another 25 minutes. And then I have to leave. And then I'll come back and I'll tell you everything. They're like, are you sure? Are you sure? I said, yeah. Do you need a glass of wine? No. Coke will work. Because I didn't want to have to go back out and drive while drinking. So they gave me a Coke and I sipped it and I watched my watch and it was time for me to leave. Because it was now past midnight. So I went back to the ATM and got the rest of the money out of the bank account. The next day, I tried to get the lock changed on the apartment complex, but it was a Saturday, and they weren't going to do that on a Saturday. And they said even if we did do that, because he's on the lease, he can always come and ask for another key, and we'd have to give it to him, which I completely understood. But then I said, yes, but he's an idiot, and he won't know to do that. And he didn't. But he did come back in and get some more stuff when I wasn't there. And then he yelled at me and said, I would never do that to you. It was like, well, you left a note saying you were just here. But, yeah. The next day, I had changed banks, had the electric changed, had the telephone changed, had orders to put in a new lock on the door, and, yeah. I will survive. He can bring his girlfriend into my place all he frickin' wants. But when he leaves, he better make sure that she's going to be housing him, because he ain't going to have nothing. Which he didn't, by the way. And she didn't let him stay. And he ended up spending the night at his work, which got him fired. But I survived. So yes, that's my story. Thank you for hanging out and let me tell you that story, because a lot of people ask me about that. They do. Because a lot of people don't know in my real life that I was married. You never talked about him. Why should I? He's an idiot. There you go. You guys, thank you again for hanging out with me on this one. I enjoyed this one. I do. I love this song. I love Gloria Gaynor. I love the fact that she sang a song about surviving. And it was the last well-known disco song to survive. She deserved that damn Grammy. Ugh. Okay, so, like, subscribe, comment. Leave your comments whether or not you want, the comments and the pictures and whatever on the screen that I decide to do. And you guys just have a fabulous Christmas, please, okay? A fabulous one. Thank you for hanging with me. You guys keep doing your magic. I will keep doing mine, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.